Well, greetings, friends, and welcome to today's Extraordinary Connection. I am Pastor Devin, and I am glad to have you joining me here for this devotional time today. And I don't know about you, but there are some days that I could just use a good laugh. Something to make me smile, maybe break me out of a funk I might find myself in. Thankfully, someone in their infinite wisdom somewhere once upon a time had the foresight to create the internet, and maybe YouTube even more specifically, for just such occasions. Because there's no shortage of content to consume covering as far-ranging of topics as the mind could imagine, full of those humorous videos for us to take in. And recently I had one of those days. I found myself having one of those days, even if I didn't initially realize it. But it was a day that I could use a little pick-me-up, and I was actually on the YouTube site to check that our stream was all set, was ready to go for the coming Sunday service, when I saw one of those videos down the sidebar. You know what I'm talking about, one of those over there, one of the suggested videos. It was simply titled, Squirrel Rescue Gone Wrong. I have to be honest, I don't know why. I don't know why it jumped out to me from the page, why it stood out to me among the endless list of available material, but I clicked on it. And before I continue, I have to share it with you as well. So let me go ahead and play this video for you here.
Don't touch him.
I need gloves.
Don't touch him.
I have to help him. Give me something to get him out
Get a
with.
board. Yeah, put the chair.
I'm saving you. 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 Let me save you. Thank you.
I don't know why, but I can't help but chuckle and laugh at that video. That poor girl who so desperately wants to help. Let me save you. And then, of course, just as it looks like all is going to end well, like she's finally going to save her squirrel friend, she's got him perched there. Squirrel leaping at her, leaving her screaming and running. And of course, then there's the realization at the end of this video that really we're right back where we started, aren't we? With that poor squirrel still swimming laps and that poor girl running away. Like I said, I don't know why I found that video so funny specifically. Maybe it was just that I needed something to laugh at. Maybe part of the reason it stuck with me was it made me stop and look inward a little bit, look at myself and look at us as the church and how we behave sometimes. How often have we been like that little girl, wanting to help, wanting to do something?
I'm saving you. I'm saving you. Let me save you.
Let me save you. Let me help you, please. But despite our best efforts, we aren't successful. For whatever reason, our attempts fall short. We fail to accomplish what we wanted to do, what our goal was. Or maybe we even end up like the girl in that pool, having the one we're trying so desperately to help lash out at us, having it blow up in our face. It can be hard when we find ourselves in those situations. And worse, that when we have those failures, they also have a way of making us a little more timid, a little more shy about trying again, about putting ourselves out there the next time, about being willing to help. I've had those experiences. I've had them when I had the absolute best of intentions. And one of those experiences and the aftermath has long stuck with me. It took place at our church. We were having a big kickoff event. It was in the yard outside the church. We were barbecuing. We had the food and the games. The bounce house were all in full swing for the kids. But as we were gathered for that time of fellowship, one of our church members noticed a gentleman. He was walking back and forth through the parking lot a few times. And finally, they called out to him and they invited him over to get a plate, to get a bite to eat with us. And he did come over and join us. And while he was at the table talking with a few of our church members, it was discovered he'd fallen on some hard times. And I ended up sitting down and I talked with him for some time. At the end, he told me he just really needed to get a ride to Toledo, about 25, 30 minutes away. He had a friend there he was sure was going to help him out. He had a job lined up that he could do with him, and he just needed to get there so he could go to work, so he could help get himself back on the right track. And I decided I was going to do what I could do to help. So I told him to gather up his things, and he grabbed his bag, and we got on the road. And during the drive, he broke down a couple times. There were tears. And he also thanked me profusely for helping him out. We ended up making it to his friend's house. He gave me a little money. I gave him a little money to get some food and gave him one of my cards. Told him to call if he needed to talk. Told him to call if I could do anything. And I'll be honest, it felt pretty good as I got in the car and headed back for home, headed my way home. Felt like I'd done something to help him out. And that feeling, it lasted for, well, less than 12 hours because the next morning it all came crashing down. You see, I received a text message from one of our church members who had been at the event the night before. And the message had a screenshot of a Facebook post. And in that post, I was looking at the face of the young man I had driven the night before. It turned out after I got him to his friend's house, he ended up stealing a car, stealing a cell phone, and he'd taken off. And I have to tell you, my heart sank pretty low about that time. And in the next moment, I found myself wondering if I'd been an accomplice to a crime. Was I the getaway driver? Had I helped him? Was this planned? So I did what I thought made sense. I called the phone number from that post, and I spoke with the police officer who was in charge of the case. I told him I was the one who had driven him. I was the one who had gotten him to that house. Filled in the details as best I could for that officer. And the officer thanked me and told me he'd be in touch if he needed anything further, anything else from me. But just before he hung up, he said something to me. He said, "I know this isn't what you imagined when you helped and gave him a ride last night. But don't let this bad experience stop you from helping the next time. We need all the people we can get who are willing to help." I want to encourage all of us to remember the same thing today. Don't let a bad experience, a failure even, don't let a squirrel jumping in your face prevent you from trying to do the good thing, the right thing, from trying to help again. We need all the people we can get who are willing to help, willing to do good, willing to love their neighbors, regardless of how those people might respond. We need people who are willing to do good. Join me in doing a little good, spreading a little love, helping where we can today and always. And until next time, my friends, stay safe, take care, and God bless.